My name's Edward. I was born and raised in London to Ghanaian parents. I have 2 sisters. I work in animation. So about 3.5 years ago, me and my wife decided to move out here to Hong Kong, and I've just been taking photos ever since. I work at Cartoon Network. What I do over there is I head up the acquisitions team. We buy the animation that Cartoon Network don't make, okay? So we buy and co-produce shows with other studios. So my position is basically a region-wide position for Asia Pacific. So I'm constantly trying to figure out what people like to look at in Australia, in India, in Japan, and Korea. And although we have different feeds, trying to actually match up the same kind of show, match up one show that people all around Asia will like. That's the ultimate goal. I got into photography, first of all, because I think my dad was heavily into photography. But my own personal journey probably started when my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, she bought me my first camera. The thing I most like about photography is I really like capturing moments. Things that you kind of feel like you have to say to people, you should have seen this. Well, if you capture it well, they can see it. It's almost like I'm keeping a record of my life at this point. In my photos, I'm trying to get across documentation and emotion. So if I can capture both of those in one photo, then that's the jackpot for me. I want someone to look at the photo and feel something, like feel connected to the photo in some way. It might be through the photo, or if I'm putting it on social media, it could be a combination of the photo and the caption, but I want people to see more than just a picture. Right now, I shoot with a Sony a7 II, and my go-to lens is the Zeiss 35mm 1.4. It's very versatile, but it's also very good for portraits, but with a backdrop. The other lens I use are, for my wide shots, I use a Voigtlander 15mm, mainly for my architectural stuff. In the last few months, I've been shooting a lot more with 85mm. That's great for street photography. You can stand pretty far back and get some real close-ups of some people on the street without disturbing them. If you have a large following, there are a lot of people that look up to you. I think it's important to try and break new ground, however hard it is, because it is very easy to kind of follow the crowd and just carry on doing the same thing. You are, whether you like it or not, an influencer, whether it's your style or your level of creativity. So I see the role as almost being like 20 years ago, how you'd look at a magazine, what people look to for ideas, for creativity. They're now looking to social media and photographers with a keen eye lead the way in that. So if there was one location and you had to go somewhere to take the photos, I would say Lugard Road. Although it sounds like a road, it's actually more of a hiking trail, but it's actually off from the peak. So there's the traditional view of the peak that gives you a V shape of Central, and you can look over to Kowloon from there. But actually, if you just take a 10-minute walk down this hiking trail, anyone listening to Hong Kong hearing this will say like, yeah, that's pretty cliche. But actually, if you're only here for one night, if you come in here for the first time, Lugard Road will blow your mind. The layers upon layers of buildings after one layer of nature is spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And I don't think there's a view like it anywhere else in the world. But where we are right now is a working cargo dock in the Western District of Hong Kong called Saiwan. I actually live over there. In 2013, I kind of was going past here on a boat, and I saw lots of photographers here at sunset, and so I eventually found my way here. I took some pictures here that I wanted to share on social media, but there was no geotag for the place, so I created a tag called Instagram Pier. I didn't think it would take off at all. It was just something I would take for that photo, and I was actually so far away from where I live. Maybe I was thinking maybe I'll never even come back here, but over time that name has just stuck. And every time I do come here for sunset, I meet friends. There'll be some friends here shooting sunset, like every single time without fail. And so it's just lovely. And then what you find is you find people coming here with a drink, or you might meet some friends here and then you go and eat afterwards. But it all starts right here for me. So the motivation for me to take photos is that I will continue to love it, even if not a single person looks at my photos. So in 50 years, if only I'm looking at them, that doesn't matter. If I can just look back and see all the photos I took and all the places I went and all the people I met, that's amazing.